Hey guys, welcome back to Forgotten Spirit Halloween Props, and today we're going to be taking you guys through a quick journey or story on the animated Guardian of the Grave. So as you guys know, the animated Guardian of the Grave is not a new prop by any means. It's actually been out for quite some time. This prop originally came out in 2009 and was sold in Spirit Halloween. It came out at Spirit Halloween, of course, and it was sold from Spirit Halloween from 2009 all the way to 2011, and then in 2012 and 13 it was online only, and then they stopped selling the Guardian of the Grave in stores in 2013 on Spirit's website. In 2014, they kept it off there in 2015, and then in 2016, the Guardian of the Grave came back into the market. However, instead of being on Spirit's website, it was actually on Home Depot's website, and they were selling this thing for about $69, which was a pretty fair price. Now, why do I want to give you guys the backstory of this animatronic? Well, it's important to knowing which animatronic I have or that you might get. There really aren't many changes to this guy as far as the new and the older version. The older version has a black base with the black module rising. This one, as I just showed you, has the white base with the white raising module, which is not a bad thing. There really is no changes to it. The cloth is also a bit lighter on this one than the older versions, and I think this one has less cloth. I don't know, but some of them have more cloth than others, so I might be wrong on that. They both work with fog, and basically they're really not different at all. They're really the same thing. There isn't anything changed about it. This is one of the more simplistic animatronics, meaning it only has one movement or one action, which is, I should just leave this up, which is the rising action right there. Basically just the guy rises up and his eyes light up and he makes sound, and then when he gets all the way up he blows fog, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty neat. Now, one thing I don't like about this animatronic, and this is, I don't know if this is on the older versions, but I know this is on this version, Tekky did not add any weights to the base, and so that means this thing is very susceptible to tipping or to falling over during a haunt if it gets really, really windy. I'm in a really uncomfortable pose right now. I'm trying to get comfortable here to talk about this. So that is unfortunate. Whoops. And that has actually happened to me a couple times where I've gone out, I've put it up, set it up, it looks great, and then I go inside to get something, come back out, and then this guy's laying on the ground. So I really think that I don't think it would have bothered Tekky to add a couple weights to this thing. I don't understand that really, but you know, whatever. What are you gonna do? I mean, this animatronic isn't really it's not really, I mean, it does have some weight to it, but it's very top heavy, and so it would be nice to balance out some weights or make it really, really base heavy. But this base type is also not the most stable thing in the world. Now, as you guys know, things generally typically improve over time, and this is one of those examples. To show you guys, the connectors on these have also gotten pretty good. As you can see, that's the newer style connector. Same thing with the eyes right there. That's a new connector, so that is something good. And they don't have a wire attached to the fog tube running to the base, which I feel like could cause some problems over time, especially if this tube gets yanked hard enough, you know, like that. It could pull the wire off, and then you have to go in there and fix it yourself. So that is cool that they added that. But other than that, the design changes and the structure of the thing has really remained the same. It really is amazing to see this animatronic have some have some little changes here and there, but otherwise stay pretty similar to the original variant. There's the relay switch. You'd press that if the fog wasn't working right away. You have your on, off, and foot pad switch. Now, like, you know, anything that they update, and most of their older props that they've updated, let me see if I can, here it is. This guy does have the newer foot pad jack instead of the old harness that they were using on animatronics for a while. Only connection that's really stayed the same is the C connection right there. It is the same. It uses the same type of harness, crappy pin that I don't really like. So, but otherwise, that's really it. Let's quickly move on here to the Tombstone. The Tombstone, again, has also stayed the same. There really is nothing changed to it. So this is unfortunate. I hate to be negative, but unfortunately, most of these animatronics, there is a couple things that I could say that Tekky could have improved on. So they're not really negatives, they're just little things that I want to mention to you guys. So the first downside of this animatronic is the Tombstone. I don't know why in the world Tekky uses these old Tombstones. These are the full foam Tombstones. As you can see, they are foam front and back. They're really just painted differently. And so that is a problem because as you can see right here, there's already a bit of damage to the Tombstone. Now, I know I've had this thing for 4 years. I got it in 2016 for a Christmas present, and I know it's been a few years since I've had this thing, so seeing that is not surprising to me, but it really kind of is. It kind of sucks because, again, this thing looks pretty realistic from a distance, but when you see that, you can tell it's there. It's a pretty big blemish, and it really takes away from the realism of this prop. Not that Tombstones would look like this. This is not a very realistic thing. Now, I don't have the reason why I'm starting out with the review of this guy and the Tombstone separate is because it's kind of hard to show the guy and the Tombstone connected together. But obviously, you just connect the Tombstones through. If I can find it here. Where is it on this guy? Oh, right here. You just connect the Tombstone right there. There's Velcro. And then you connect it on the back right there. And when that's connected, it actually does look pretty realistic looking, even though there's no padding. And you guys can see that there's a random hawk right there. Mosquito hawk. So that's interesting. And the other downfall of this animatronic is the tube here. The tube of this guy, the way you secure it is it goes through a zip tie right there. You slide the tube through and then you secure it down with the twist tie. That's really not a very good way of holding this thing very stable because as you can see, just me twisting the Tombstone, it turns pretty easily and it's not very secure. And when he goes back down, the tube kind of squishes and pushes out the side. So I would recommend if you're going to use this thing, I wouldn't recommend hooking it out. I just have the tube laying out in the open. It's really not going to look any different, and if it's in the dark, you're not going to really be able to see it unless you're trying to look for it, and then yeah, you'll probably see it, but most likely not. So, but other than the Tombstone and that tube thing, I really would say this is a really solid prop. It's really built pretty well. The quality is really the same as most of their Tekky props, even though it was made in 2016. The Tombstone really is the only negative I would say. I really wish that was made out of a thin plastic or something a little bit more preferable other than the foam, because the foam Tombstones wear away pretty quickly, as you guys know. If you guys have any Tekky toys, animatronics that include the Tombstones, so that is just a small negative. Now, one more thing we're going to talk about here is the box here. So the box of this guy is actually pretty cool. Tekky kind of went with a more nostalgic look and kind of injected some new modernness into it, which is pretty cool. It really isn't anything special, just Guardian of the Grave. They put the green lettering on it, kind of like they did in 2010. So like I said, this thing does have a very reminiscent feel of the older Spirit animatronics. And they even put the instructions on the back, which is something you don't see anymore, even with the newer props. So that is pretty cool in and of itself. So yeah, there's the box. It's kind of what you get with the box. Again, I really don't understand the instructions thing, especially when it's on the back of the box. That really doesn't make much sense to me. But Tekky did include it, and so it is there. It is a part of the box, so I guess I really can't say it's a bad thing. And if you guys want to get replacement adapters and cords, GetCoolStuff.com does sell these online, and I believe they're only like $10 to $12, so they're not too expensive, and I believe they might even be cheaper than that. So yeah, so there is the box. Very, very cool box. Really glad they decided to do it like this. So I can't get any footage of this thing going tonight, but I do have some older footage from older videos, and I'm going to go ahead and insert those videos right now. This is going to be him without fog, and then another video with him blowing the fog. Alright guys, so I believe that's everything on this animatronic. I believe I've talked about everything and maybe even gone over things a few too many times, hopefully not. But anyways guys, I want to thank all of you guys so much for watching this video. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe, smack the bell notification, leave a thumbs up if you guys did like this video. Because I thought it was pretty good to make, even though I'm extremely uncomfortable. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. If there's any questions you have, be sure to leave your questions in the comment section below, and we will respond to them as humanly possible. Or as fast as humanly possible, rather. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't be forgotten. Subscribe to Forgotten Spirit Only Props to see all the latest and greatest videos that we are going to upload. So anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video.